Go. This
Hey,
is Adam and Kate plus hate.
and I'm still Adam, unbeknownst to my enemies,
I may or may not be Kate.
and we fight crime. We fight the fuck out
We
of
fight
crime.
Scruff McGruff. We're gonna take a bite out of crime. A
Yeah,
cabin includes Scruff McGruff.
yeah. I mean, we might as well. Like, we need every duo needs an animal mascot, and I know that he has cigarettes, so I can put the vape away. And they're cartoon cigarettes, means they're healthy.
Cartoon cigarettes means it's healthy. Sorry. That was a bad joke. I'm just gonna that was not one of your best.
No, it wasn't.
I
No, it
mean, they
wasn't.
can't all be winners.
No, I'm still learning.
I'm still learning. How long have you been doing stand up?
Yes. Not enough to make me successful, so it's for the love of the game at
Apparently
this
not.
point.
I mean, look, Marin wasn't really successful until his like what 50s. You got time.
Yeah. I mean, other than the meteor,
Yeah.
yeah, I got time.
I mean, the man was a generational talent with an incredibly successful podcast. We have a podcast, and we're not untalented.
yeah, and we are of generations.
Yeah.
Put it all together.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yo, you doing
Yes.
good? How's life treating you?
You know, I got that job.
Hell yeah.
It is I will be working at the First Unitarian Church as the building super and event manager.
That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah.
It feels really cool to be a part of like it's a cool place for like Philly hardcore history, but also like rest of history, it also very much matters.
Tell me about it. I actually don't know other than the hardcore side of it. Tell me some. I like history. Tell me some shit.
So, abolitionist king John Brown.
Yes.
So his body was brought there the day after his execution for a vigil.
Really?
That was the first place it went. When Martin Luther King Jr. was a student, he attended a lecture there. That's when he first learned about Gandhi.
Shit.
Yeah. And then right downstairs from all that, I watched Akil from End It open their set by singing a Screwdriver song.
That the irony is not lost on me with that particular thing.
So
I thought she'd be like, "This is where Blacklisted formed," but all right, whatever. That could have been it. That's history. That's important. Blacklisted's important.
I was just looking at. There's a Wikipedia article about this place, and apparently it's also where Kevin Bacon got his start in acting because he would act in the church plays there as a kid because that's
Really?
where he and his family went to church. Yeah.
You're only a few degrees of separation away
From Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
It's
so
really
sick.
cool. I am. I've been working at a hospital for 3 years now. I've been working in a job as essentially a glorified complaint department. I had a moment early on where I was like, did I fuck up? Because a battle-hardened emergency room nurse looked at me and said, I could never do your job.
Oh.
And I went, oh no. And then 3 years later, I'm like, I think I'm good. I think I'm good on this. Um, I it is a lot of just seeing some of the worst parts of humanity. Seeing a lot of people on their worst days. Um, and I'm usually there because not only are they having their worst day, but the hospital isn't making it any better, and that's why I'm there. So I'm ready to move on.
I
Um,
think I think my work equivalent of that was working at GameStop.
yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
The night Skyrim launched, the bloodbath that ensued. Have you smelled a Call of Duty midnight launch? I have. I will never forget it. No, but that's awesome. Work,
A lot of axe mixed with ball sweat.
yo, okay. So it's funny you say that. It's funny you've been.
I'm familiar with that particular melange.
So there's been more than one occasion when I worked at the stop. Uh, that's what the cool kids called it, the stop. And
Uh,
an Axe
sure,
body spray would actually use one of the stores I worked at as a was it what not testing ground, but like a testing market.
sure, yeah.
Whatever.
Like they would come and give free samples there.
They would try new products. Remember how Axe body spray chocolate blew up for a while?
That shit smelled atrocious.
That their initial launch of that, from what I was told, was it like a handful, by handful, probably several dozen GameStops, and they did another flavor, scent, god damn it, scent, not flavor. Uh, Apparently they've done Mountain Dew launches of specific flavors, at a GameStop as a test
That's
market. Test market, there it is, test market.
yo.
So,
The one person that I knew, by the way, that used the chocolate axe was also someone that never showered and never did laundry.
oh, oh, oh,
His
it's
whole body smelled like bad breath.
fuck, mm. Y'all can't tell, but my stomach on the inside hurts right now. It's making a separate stomach so I don't throw up. God damn. Ew.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so he smelled like that mixed with I get it was called chocolate, but it was not chocolate. I don't know what that was.
no, that was, I mean,
Beaver musk?
yo, that's like I have. So you ever walked into a Bath and Body Works and like, if you're a hypersensitive, if you got a hypersensitive nose like I do, got no bad allergies, it becomes goddamn sensory overload the second you're in there for more than like a minute.
Sure. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
im- Imagine that with kids screaming in a line, just spraying it indiscriminately, and slurs. And that and then dealing with that for a week for every Call of Duty launch. So that was every single that smell is baked into one of the stores I work. It's never going away. I asked if I could smoke cigarettes. Like, can I please kill this smell? Just let me smoke like 5 cigarettes. It'll be so much better, I promise.
When cigarettes are an improvement to the smell, not great.
No, no. God damn. Um, you know what is great? You know what
What's
is
that?
great? Supporting local mom and pop places. Uh, I did not have that opportunity, but I believe you ventured out into the world and bought some cool shit.
I did. I did. Shout out to my friends Casey and Brian over at Brave New Worlds Comics here in Philly. I stopped by there and grabbed volumes 2 and 3 of a great comic called The Power Fantasy. I love these covers. I have not gotten a chance to read them yet, but imagine if the fate of the world rested heavily on a bunch of superheroes not using their powers because any single one of them could potentially end the whole world.
Ooh, a la Akira.
And so instead, they have philosophical debates about using their powers. That's power fantasy.
Ooh,
Um, it was one of the writers that worked on X-Men, um, and it's definitely using a bunch of ideas that Marvel was like, absolutely not. Uh, so highly recommend, one, the series, two, Brave New Worlds, if you're ever in Philadelphia. Um, that is the comic book shop to go to now that Amalgam is no more. Rest in
ooh.
peace, Amalgam. COVID.
No shit. I for some reason I thought it was still around.
Um, unless I'm very much mistaken, I believe it died.
Damn. I know I've won stuff from them via eBay back when I got back into comics. But I did not. I thought they were still around. Maybe they're still selling on eBay or something. But that sucks that they're gone because like I got some really good books. When I started getting back into comics at really good prices from them. I do believe I ended up getting a Moon Knight lot or two that they had listed. I'm pretty sure it was them. So wasn't getting a lot of comics out of Philly. So not a place that had a million good reviews either. So I believe that was them.
So, yeah, the Instagram is not active. It hasn't been active since 2023. So, it looks like they might still be doing pop-ups and stuff like that, but I
Trash
don't
American
think.
style.
Hmm?
Oh, they trash American style.
Oh, are they still doing pop-ups?
Yeah. Even after I know it's not as frequent, but I know that movie Need That Record like brought them back in to the because it was a Connecticut business. What it, there's a Connecticut
Yeah, it was that shit was like right in my hometown.
so
I found out about it because I was a bit of a sheltered church kid as a teenager. I found out about it a little late, but that place ruled.
did a lot of mail order with them too. So like uh good example of a mom and pop business that I got to grow up with, and it's nice hearing about the shop that you're buying comics from. So
Yeah, Brave New Worlds is awesome. I can't recommend it enough. Cool little shop in Old City, Philadelphia. I want to double check on because I can't find anything more about Amalgam, and they haven't been active for like 3 years. But like, I don't want to be spreading. Um,
it's not malicious. It's like I thought they disappeared. I could have sworn they were still selling online, but I've seen so many shops pop up and disappear online and then like do like retail special covers, special variants and like never ship them. Two
mhm.
stores that I got into it with that did that to me with what's the furthest place from here when they were doing all the 7 inches and all the special editions. I had to fight to get that money back and I still did not get those original first presses with all the 7 inches. And Diamond sucked my dick from the back, my whole entire dick, because you limited the vinyl to like two per store and didn't tell anybody.
That sucks. It looks like they are closed because the thing that it is showing me is Atomic City, which is on South Street, which is also a cool place. But um, yeah, no, here it is. Yeah, they closed back in 2023.
Sad.
So not telling tales out of school. Atomic over on South Street is also a cool shop, but uh, I'm just more familiar with Brave New Worlds.
All right.
But
Shout out Brave New Worlds.
yeah, and then a book that I tried to purchase at an independent bookshop, and then was not able to find it in any. Um, Maybe I didn't look hard enough. Maybe I didn't go to the right shops, but still a book I recommend picking up. This is called "There Is No Anti-Memetics Division." This is a really, I don't know if you can tell. I like this cover a lot. It's very cool. It's shiny. It's a cool texture. There's a big obelisk thing on it. Uh,
Jake Bannon
this
did the art.
is this is trippy cosmic horror about trying to fight um these things called anti memes, which are like I like memory reality erasing ideas. Uh, how do you fight something that once you've fought it, you forget that it exists?
But that gives me really, as the kids say, that gives me heavy, Department of Truth and nobody's in control vibes.
Yeah. Um, it's really cool. Part of the book are like these entries from their from the department files. A lot of the book is like redacted. It's a cool story. I listened to it on audio. I read it in on ebook, but it just seemed like something cool to own an actual physical copy of. Physical media supremacy. Um, you know, I can't wake up one day to find that Amazon has deleted this from my library. You know?
Yeah, no, no, like, that's why the insane record collection, which goddamn, I really am moving half of it. I found worth. I really am selling off half of it. I think it's time to fucking shed the stuff I'm not listening to. But no, who does this guy have any other books in a series or
No. This started off as, I mean, he's written other things, but I don't believe he's written any other books. Um, he this started off as like an online series as part of like a an already existing there's a community that have sort of like I don't fully understand it. Um, I only found out about it through this book, but um, there's this like shared world that that people have created in like online communities, and people have contributed all sorts of like fiction to it. It's not it's not fan fiction because there isn't another like pre-existing property that they're all like. This is a shared like universe that people who found it all find fascinating have written stories in, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So this started off as like a story that he was publishing online on his blog, that got turned into a book. But it's
Ooh,
by a guy. Um, his name is Sam Hughes. He goes by the online handle Quantum, spelled QNTM, which I will say is a little goofy. Um, but the book is very, very
hell
cool.
yeah.
So
Sometimes
yeah,
we read, sometimes we read. Me,
I read a lot. Uh, it's I reading is what I do for my ADHD brain when I would rather be scrolling when I'm trying to fall
ooh,
asleep.
ooh, okay.
So when I go to bed, I put my phone like on the charger and then pick up like my Kindle, and you know, which the irony of that is not lost on me, but it is like an e-paper screen. Like it's not blue light. Like, uh, you know, and I read instead. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna doom scroll. I'm going to read a book until I'm too tired to keep my eyes open.
I feel like I don't hate reading. So what I'm about to say is gonna sound like I hate reading, but I absolutely do not hate reading. I
You were
read
an
so much.
English major. Now it'd be weird if you hated reading.
No, I know I got an English degree, wasn't a major, but I got a degree on accident. My my actual degree is technical professional writing. So I write boring or I was writing boring stuff like surveys, like which soda did you prefer? How many did you have? A lot memos,
Okay.
constructive, like corporate writings. But my creative minor for my Regency degree or my MDS degree, whatever you want to call it, for that particular degree. I have 3 degrees. I'm a life failure. It's cool. College was great. So glad I did it. Uh, crippling debt,
Sounds like it
but
was worth your time.
I think in a lot of ways it was. I need to have struggled to understand how life works. But my creative side was more on the creative writing, so I got one minor in creative writing. But no, I think reading is I think currently the state of reading, if it's not a major book series, people don't give it enough credit, and if it's not, like, on a list, uh, I feel that, like, a lot of the stuff that it comes out now, and granted, I've been disconnected from, like, reading for fun for, we'll say, realistically, 20 years. I'd say 27, 20 is when I really stopped reading. I've read books in
Mhm.
between, like, I did not find anything to be either in my lane, or I don't know if there was just a drought of talent, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that comes that's why I transitioned over to comic books, because I was finally getting stories with, like, the visual side is there, but the writing I felt was more, there was a spirit, there was a heart to it, and I felt that a lot of the books that I'm sure now, that when I should have paid a little bit of attention or asked people, I feel like books for a long time were just a series and then a movie series, and there was not a lot being put out there for any sort of critical acclaim for story, and I know people are like, "No, didn't you know about this?" The answer is no, I didn't. That's why I'm saying this. But I just didn't see a lot of it coming, and I didn't see a lot of it the stuff that I was into being put out there, and, I think one of the last books I read for fun was Warren Ellis's Crooked Little Vein, which he's a comic book writer, but he wrote an actual book. You can read it in, like, a day if you're a slow reader. Um, that's what I'm a slow reader for not for fiction, for nonfiction and stuff like that, history, burn through it, not no question, and I can retain a lot of it. But like fiction, original stories, stuff like House of Leaves, Only Revolution, like the book that you just posted, if the John Dies at the End book series, if I started reading those, it would take me so long to read one book because I don't want to miss a detail. But for whatever reason,
Sure.
history. I don't know where I was going with this. I had a
Where are you
point.
at with audiobooks?
I started The Sandman and had to stop, and I love The
I mean,
Sandman.
Sandman is like an audio drama, though.
It
It's
it
not.
is,
It's a
but,
little
like,
different than like most audiobook experiences.
my wife does fuck with a lot of audiobooks, Creepcast, which is a very cool creepypasta podcast that, Papa Meat and Wendigo do. They post about a lot of the horror, and there's been a lot of cool book series that they've read excerpts from, which got me back into, like, maybe you should try this reading thing again. And she's been listening to a lot of the books, extended universe, and some of those things. So it's at least giving me good gift ideas. But
There you go.
I, I want to get back to reading, but skate.
As a brief aside, to anybody that if you find reading difficult, um, try audiobooks. And if you've ever shamed somebody for listening to a book instead of reading it, fuck you. You
Yeah,
suck.
fuck
You're
yourself.
ableist and you suck. Uh, there's
Not
nothing
just
wrong with
not
listening
not
to an
even
audiobook.
yeah, not even just not being able. It's like time wise. Uh, are you the kind of person that when you're reading, like, oh God, I'm on a moving something and now I got a headache and got to throw up, or you'd be like, we pop this in. Oh shit, this story's going along quite nicely. I like the people they got for the voices. I could probably do audiobooks. I mean, I can read. Goddamn, I can read, but I have not felt the urge. So that's what spurred all of this. Was you bought a book, and I was like, I remember those things. I used to love those things. Um,
My favorite thing that I own in my room is a bookshelf. Uh as we've talked about in the past, like one reason I don't own a lot of records is that for the longest time, like I moved every 5 seconds and like didn't feel comfortable buying records. But I started collecting books and comics actually, and I have a bookshelf, and it makes me feel like I live some, and I'm not just passing through. Um, which is psychologically significant.
well, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
See,
I love my bookshelf. I'm staring at it. Um, I will not show the camera because there's a lot of junk around it, and, I would feel self-conscious. I feel self-conscious being on camera as it is. Um, but
Uh,
everyone watches podcasts now for some goddamn reason, so we gotta be on YouTube.
it
Just just listen to a thing. You can just listen. You don't have
yeah.
to watch it. You could listen to it.
Yeah, what's wild is I actually have a bunch of Folio Society books that I decided to keep because I sold off a bunch of them. I was like, I don't care about these, but I have a bunch of them in these boxes and a bunch of other like rare books that I decided to keep. I'm in the process of selling off all this antique stuff that I don't want, which is the vast majority of it. But I kept a lot of the books. Uh, for some reason, like that, there's 4 boxes of them. I decided to keep those books because there was something important about it, and I still have my, uh, what is it called? The Illustrated Classics, which was you got, like, Robinson Crusoe or, uh, Great Expectations or something. It would have this
Yeah,
really
yeah, I'm
cool
familiar. Those are
I
cool.
I still have all those that I have not gotten rid of those because those are still very meaningful to me. That reminds me of my childhood because again, I come off very stupid on this show, just like I do in real life. But I have gotten an actual education and retained a lot of it. I just like being aloof. It's fun. It's so much better than being serious and being fatalistic. So, you know, all right.
So, we are nominally a hardcore podcast. You wanna talk about some hardcore?
Yeah, let's talk about some hardcore. What's coming out that you're stoked for?
Um, Fiddlehead is announcing something tomorrow. I am a massive Fiddlehead fan. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming a new record. Um, so I'm very stoked on that. Um, did I see right that Turnstile's announcing something?
Yeah, so a bunch of bands, I think Hatebreed retweeted it or re-insted it, Terror re-insted it. It's just a very nice blue picture, and it has the band if you watch Venture Brothers when they're running, and it's just a silhouette of them running, and it's a red background. It's like that, but with Turnstile on blue to match the color or motif of the of Never Enough. So I'm hoping that we're either getting a new record, like an EP, or a tour that is more in line with what the hardcore kids want, as opposed to these gigantic tours. I'm hoping we get like a bunch of intimate, more intimate thousand cap, like 5,000 cap at most for big cities kind of tour. Like I'm hoping we get like a lot of 800, 500 cap rooms getting filled for the kids.
I would very much love to be able to see Turnstile in not a stadium, you know? Um, all props in the world to, like, big bands, but, like, they're, like, bands getting big and, like, having to play these, like, big rooms, but, like, I'm sorry, Knocked Loose, I am not going to an arena to see you. I'm not no, thank you.
And
Just
and and like And this I think some of this will lead up to part of the big part of today's show in some way. Once a band does get to a certain size, and this is where my brain damage comes in, it once you hit a certain size, I can deal with a comma. I mean, like Furnace
sure.
Fest, Hellfest, I get it. Like, there's a lot of people there, big stage, tons of people.
Yeah. But
The
that's a
crowd
festival too, right?
yeah,
Like
but, like, I could not like, I wanted to see AFI in Asheville. Here's where the first world problem, woe is me shit comes out. I, 1, couldn't afford tickets at the time. They sold
mhm.
out too quick. I'm not spending and I th okay, this will go in line with the arena thing for me. I am so fucking sick and tired of the bots or whoever buying tickets immediately and then reselling them on a platform immediately of the bands you
Shit
want to see.
sucks.
It's
Shit
real.
sucks.
It really is. I think that is more detrimental to live music, not just like Turnstile, Knock Loose, bands that have gotten really big. I think that has been a you could do a hardcore arena tour. You could do it, but when you have that scalper resale mentality and ecosystem, it fucking ruins it. And for me, arenas I get too it's too much for me. Um,
Ticket prices are already too fucking expensive because fucking Ticketmaster and Live Nation have had a monopoly, you know, for so long. Like, we don't need more reasons for this shit to be even harder to go and enjoy. Like, we just don't. Like, I I want to hold off on some of the real hate because I want to keep things light and breezy. But man,
Well, and we'll
like,
and we'll and we'll get to and the pre-pro, we're gonna be able to boom, boom, boom real good with it, I think, because we brought stuff up now that we could have done earlier, but it came out organically, which is part of the fun of this show. All right, so Turnstile, that put us in a tangent. Um, what else? Who anyone got a big record coming out this week that you can think of?
duh, duh. No Cure, I believe, is dropping this week.
No, no, no cure. No
No,
cure was July.
No Cure is July. Truck Violence,
Yes, Violent Truck.
Violent Truck.
um, the I think it unless Chat Pile lays down and dies and pulls an Andre 3000 for the rest of that record and just does flutes, I think that this is going to be like I think this is going to be a very big record. Not only for the label for the Flenser, but I think the Flenser. This is the year where all their bands level the fuck up. Crippling Alcoholism, Chat Pile. I'm hoping we get Agriculture still like an EP. This truck violence came out of nowhere. Uh, to me, like they were never on my radar. Um,
I had never heard of them before.
Shit is good. It is good. If you like noise rock, if you like intercourse, couch slut, chat pile, anything along those lines, this is gonna be mandatory listening for you from the three songs they have. This is gonna be I think this is gonna be a big, big record, and I think it's gonna be a critical darling and a dark horse record. I think this is gonna be talked about as important uh years from now. That's how strongly I
Hell
feel about
yeah.
it. I and just like again, them and Chat Pile specifically, uh and to like a smaller degree, like I said, intercourse and couch slut. I think those might be the Rushmore of modern noise rock.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't think of anybody else.
No, me neither. Oh, Whores.
That's right. Didn't they Atlanta band? They've played up here.
Or
I don't
maybe
Savannah.
Savannah?
They're a Georgia band. They're a Georgia band.
They're a Georgia band. Um, I love that band. They fucking rule. I'm not sure if you've ever given them much of a listen, but
Did they have
highly
a
recommend.
like Chain Whip EP? Did they say something about Chain Whip or Flail? I feel like that was
Possibly.
I feel like that was an album title, maybe a song. I know the name. Didn't they have a record called Ruiner?
They have a record called War and they have a record called Gold.
Then I am mixing them
And
up with.
then Ruiner, yeah.
Okay, I was right. All right. Okay, that's the record I'm probably most familiar with. That was the one that I think I got it off Lamb Goats when they were still doing occasional mega upload and YSI threads under different name. Media Fire. We were in the Media Fire age at that point.
I'm a big fan of their 2016 record, Gold. Yeah, they're cool. Like Um, anything else coming out? I feel like there was more that we talked about in pre-pro, but I cannot for the life of me remember shit.
I know we talked about the Code Orange song last week with JX on the show. I'm hoping we get another single from them soon. I know there's stuff that's coming.
Yeah, single print index is cool. I would love to hear more material that sounds like that. It's fucking heavy. It's like angular and weird. Um,
It's it's Code Orange post forever, but not the underneath. They went the other way back and then decided to write like a hardcore record. That's what
it
like what
sounds it sounds like that EP that they did with Corey Taylor.
yes, the Three Knives and that was a really great song. Goddamn, Three Knives is a great song. Um, I
But
wish
like
all
with
those
less like weird, like glitchy nonsense in it.
I still wish those 5 songs ended up on vinyl. Sure would be a shame if that happened.
I doubt it will, but
Sure would be a shame if
you
someone made a
can
fan
hope.
copy. I mean, fans make things all the time. Pre-orders coming
It's
soon. I'm
true.
just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. We don't know.
Finish your skateboard company first, and then start
Yeah.
trying to bootleg Code Orange vinyl.
It's not bootleg if it was never physical to begin with. It's bringing it out of the ether. It's bringing it to the people, goddamn.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Pre-orders
Um,
going up soon. I'm gonna get fucking punched in Pittsburgh for that. It's fine. I deserve it. Uh, all right. What are we on to next? Since we can't remember the other stuff.
uh, it's fine. You want to talk on your homework? I gave you the
Yes.
band Heilung.
Yes. So I will sum it up very easily. I have never once in my entire life ever felt that I needed to sack the Holy Roman Empire. And this was the music that made me want to do it and have emotion behind it, not just anger. Uh, very the homemade instrument part, like I couldn't really tell a lot of that was homemade. Like I could not tell. It felt like it was more out of time at a different time. So it would have to be, but it felt more like mono in the way that it was actually evocative and big and like the kind of sound that encircles you and it forces you to pay attention. Um, the
Yeah.
spoken word tracks like took the spoken word tracks were cool, but I wanted battle music and like
Yeah. I don't need the spoken word stuff for the most part. It kind of takes me out of it too. Like I understand what they're doing. I'm not necessarily mad at it, but like um I don't need it. You know, I don't, or rather, you know what I definitely don't need? Like I don't need it in the middle of everything. You know what I mean?
it was I I would actually would prefer. And again, I know they're watching. I know they're streaming it right now. Because why wouldn't they? They have powers. Uh, if they did an entire record that was spoken word, um, okay, I know what it reminds me of. Okay, there was a guy called Andy the Doorbum, and he had a musical project. This is a Charlotte thing. So back
Okay.
the world famous Milestone. There is a documentary out there. Please check it out. I got to see it at Radio Room. Andy the Doorbum performed, and he has this very specific character that he does. He gets up, he does, I don't want to say character, a piece of performance art that is on par with Heilung. They like I was like, I
Okay.
know this reminds me of something, but what the fuck is it? I went through my pictures. I was like, what is the name of that guy? Because I met him. It was real cool. Um, uh, Milestone's still around. Big, important venue. It's not even big, but important venue for Charlotte and independent music. Um, but he worked there for years and he did this musical project. And I was like, this I had to figure out, like, I know what this sounds like to, and but that was Heilung was like, this is what reminded me of that. and he had a bunch of spoken word stuff throughout the music. And I was like, okay, if you just did this for an hour and then did the rest instrumental, that would be a cool split. But I overall I enjoyed it. I did not know I was sitting down for 143 hours of music initially. But overall it was long. It was a lot. It was a lot. But it was like it was cool because it
I'm
made me
gonna fact
focus.
check you on that.
And it reminded me a lot of like growing up in a way that, like, I would grow up listening to jazz and classical, and I got to kind of relive that a little bit with something totally different. So, that was very cool. I like that. I can't pronounce German is my by the way, I'm ESL, don't remember a lick of German. German is my first language along with, Yiddish and, throw some Gaelic and Latin in there, and I can't fucking remember any of it because 'cause I'm very dumb. Um, but it reminded me of growing up listening
Each one
to
of their records is an hour long.
Yo, Hatebreed Records belongs to me now, okay? So just understand that. I'm not like power violence
No,
guy
oh, I know. We're hardcore kids, and we're used to records being 30 minutes. I get it.
or less. But overall, like I thought it was very cool. It made me go back to remember Andy the Door Bum and the live video that you told me to watch, Red Rocks, which, by the way, I didn't know that Red Rocks had so much to do with like having gigantic performances. I knew it was an important place. I did not know it had such a wide range of big performances and like
Yeah,
important performances. So
it's cool. Shout out
the
JX for telling us about some more of that last week. But
should in the was I think I made it to like 20, 30 minutes of I'm being generous with the 30. It was probably close to like 22, 23 minutes. I could pull it up on YouTube and tell you exactly where I stopped. But like the first 10, 15 minutes, the natives came out and basically blessed the entire performance. They had their own performance and then brought the band on. And now, granted, I watched it from my phone, not from my TV. I watched it from my
mhm.
phone, so everything was much smaller. But it there was something about that performance that just encapsulates the imagination and it just grabbed hold. And I was like, there is a lot of culture. The band's name means healing. Silas, get down from there. Silas, don't know, sir. Don't do. Sorry, I gotta get Silas down from before he jumps behind the washer again, and then he screams for an hour, like, "Why won't you? Why would you let me do this, Dad? Why won't you get me?" But let me get this silly boy real quick. Come here, kid. Dad loves it. Dad, I know. Dad's got it. I know. Uh, but as I carry him like a baby, he loves this so much. Uh, but I really enjoyed it. It was
I would highly encourage you to go back and actually like watch that performance. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot to it. Uh,
watching on TV, not my phone.
watch it on a TV, not your phone. Yeah, because there's like it's yeah, it's not a concert. It's like an experience. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that was and again, I am faulting myself for not being able to watch the whole thing. And again, watched on a phone, but it is saved in my watch list, so I will get back to it. I enjoyed it. I think if anyone here wants to have a different musical experience, even if you don't check out the actual releases, watch that. It's going to be very different. You're going to feel emotions,
yeah.
and you're going to
It
hate the
is.
Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah. Actually, they beat the Roman Empire. The Germans beat the Roman Empire before it became the Holy One. When it was just the Roman Empire at the height of their power.
No, they should have gone back for the holy part and be like, "No, no, no, we run this bitch."
Yeah, that's where the Germans fucked up. The only time.
The only time in history. That that and the Beetle, the 2 problems that Germany has brought out. The be the beetle and not taking the Holy Roman Empire out.
Yep. Yep, those were the pieces. Uh,
That's it.
can we make it through an episode without making a reference to Nazis? Uh, we'll never get monetized at this rate.
No, no, I got a connection.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. I'm in the group chat.
Hey, at the next big Jew meeting, could you do me a favor?
You mean Jubilee? The Hillel house hated me so much. Every time I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "I'm going to Jubilee." Like, don't please don't say that. Like, what else? We're supposed to be joyous.
Oh.
This will never make it in comedy. This right here, nothing else. This is where I get canceled.
Hey, next time you see George Soros at the big cookout, tell him my check is still hasn't gotten here.
I will. I will. Let me. I'll get
Thank
on
you.
Signal. I'll get on Signal, and we'll knock it out on chat. You
Get
know,
on the
because
red George phone.
yeah,
That,
nothing.
that-
Signal has never done anything wrong for this country either. It's a great platform. Totally stable. Um, all right. So my homework for you this week and everyone else listening, I would implore you also get a chance to do this. Um, Again, one of the big things about this show is about us talking about a lot of the weirder stuff that is adjacent to hardcore or weird bands in hardcore. And in a group chat, I asked everybody, "Hey, what's y'all's familiarity with the Judas Factor?" Now, Axe to Grind mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I remembered I still had Kiss Suicide and Ballads in Blue China on vinyl. Really, some of my favorite Rev records, at least the Ballads in Blue China. My other favorite Rev record that I'm going to recommend for homework is Far Side's The Monroe Doctrine.
okay.
Uh,
Let me add this to my library while we're talking about it, so
all
that
right.
way I don't forget about it.
You don't have to go through Kiss Suicide if you don't want to, but Ballads is a great LP. I wish it got remastered. It sounds very 90s. Um, Far Sides of Monroe
Yo,
Doctrine. What?
Far Side. Let's see. Wait a minute. All right, there it is. For a second, it was like only giving me like a single and nothing else on Apple Music. I was going to be very sad. Okay.
And the last one that I'm gonna throw out here. So we were talking about government conspiracies with the book, and then brought up Department of Truth and Nobody's in Control. One of my favorite bands that is definitely from the state that's put out some of the best weird hardcore in New Jersey, a band called Endeavor. And they put out a record called Constructive Semantics on Trustkill. They did Crazier Than a Shithouse Rat on Conversion Records, but that was a big step up in production quality, lyrical quality, musical accomplishment. They went further and further and further, really solidified their sound. Unfortunately, broke up not too long after that, but Good Fight has reissued Crazier Than a Shithouse Rat and Constructive Semantics. So go pick those up if you want some really good classic Jersey hardcore. But yeah, Far Side's Monroe Doctrine, Judas Factor, Ballads in Blue China, and Endeavor's Constructive Semantics. That is a not a that is a accurate portrayal of a lot of the weirder stuff that I like that we have not mentioned on the show. So uh, then they're relatively Far Side's the longest record. Ballads is like 30 minutes, and Constructive Semantics like 25, 27 minutes. So Far Side's gonna I think Far Side's gonna you're either going to like Far Side or you're gonna be like, how the fuck do you listen to this? But it's but I think that Far Side record is one of my top 3 Rev records, along with, Batteries, Whatever It Takes, and, what else? The Warzone 7-inch. Let's just go all over the
Okay.
place. So, that's what I would, that's they're all very different moods too. So it's I think it'll be you're gonna get some feelings.
I'm looking forward to this.
All right.
I checked out Judas Factor when you mentioned them the other day. I really liked it. Um, so I'm looking forward to this. This should be fun. Um, I got you know what I'm one thing I'm really stoked on, man, with my new job. So because so much of my current job involves sitting at a desk waiting for a phone to ring so someone can yell at me about something that I cannot possibly do anything about, I have had to do a lot of my homework assignments with one earbud in. Yeah, because like I j- my job takes up most of my waking life, and I will try and go and listen to things like, full headphone experience, but often like on weekends on my off time, I just want to put on an audiobook that I know and just turn my brain off. So I I unfortunately have not been able to give everything the attention it deserves. But now at my new job, I will be able to do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited.
Look, like I'm lucky I drive around in a truck all day for my main job. I can and for whatever reason the stereo I'm pretty sure it's Bose. If not, it's like the one right below. But it's Harman Kardon for all I know. There's a good name in audio. It's Kenwood.
It's a
Uh,
it's a Bang& and Olufsen for some reason.
the Alpine subwoofers in the seat really bring out the breakdowns, and it I get to hear almost everything. So it's if something goes different in my life and I'm no longer in that position, then I will have to go back to the all right. Let's sit down in the dark, put the headphones on, cross your arms like this, and just listen and just wait. See what happens.
So I
All right.
am forgive me as I get up and go grab my headphone case again. Yeah, I'm very excited about being able to dedicate more of my time to things I actually care about rather than like like this show.
Hell yeah. And we get to go you get to go a little more in depth. You get to hear some of the nuances. Some of these older records, man, like if see that sweet boy. Some of these older records, like they only had like $8 to record. So it's nice to hear like it's nice to be able to listen to all of it in one and like with as much as humanly possible, as much power behind everything.
Yeah.
So hey
So
Silas, thank you for coming to see Dad.
one thing I wanted to chat about, um, so in a segment we've been talking about doing forever but haven't actually done yet is this week in hardcore Reddit. And I want to start off on a on one of the oddly like positive posts I saw in hardcore Reddit this past week, which was someone asking about, "Hey, I'm neurodivergent." I think the thread was called "Help an Autistic Bitch Out." Um,
No,
but
no,
like,
no, it was X help an autistic bitch out X.
um, but she this person, I believe it was a woman. I don't know. Um, whoever this person was, they wanted to know about how do I make friends at shows? Which valid question. It can be difficult. You're in a room, you don't know any of these people. How do you strike up a conversation with somebody and hopefully maybe make a new friend? Maybe do something besides stare at your phone between bands. The top comment on there is, I think, quite predictably find someone with a wearing a shirt of a band that you like, compliment them on that shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Curious what, if you have any advice or thoughts.
Let's see. I met two of my very good friends. Let's see. I met my BFFFF. He was interviewing, also named Adam. Ugh. He was interviewing Rob Fusco of One King Down because Shelter, One King Down, Glassjaw, and Elasion, a local Carolina band, played a show, and he was interviewing Rob, and I helped out with the interview. So I said, "Let's. I can be bold." I was like, "I know how to ask questions." Um, so we our first time talking was that, but I have found the shirt thing works, or hoodie, or jersey, the clothing item. Um, I have
I like that band,
yep,
you know?
I like I like that band. Um, Mine was, "Oh, you're interviewing someone in a band that I like. I know shit. Let me help." There it is. Let me help. That
There
is
you
a
go.
big one that can go very far. Let's see.
Um, I like, you know that you have a shared interest because you're both at the same show. So, "Hey, when was the last time you saw this band? Is this your first time?"
Yep, there's there's that. There's yo, you like this band? Fucking have you heard of blah? Yo, if you like this, fucking check this shit out. You're gonna be
That's a good
into
one.
it.
Um, I also really like, let's see, just turn to the person next to you and go, "That was sick," after a band gets done playing.
Let's see. That's a good one. Because I dig through the vinyl, when bands have, like when there are big distros, I'll dig, and, like,
Mhm.
I'll dig and I'll dig, and, I'll see people what they're buying, and, like, some and this listen, this is a bold premise, Cotton, let's see if you can make it happen. I will just pick records out of the distro and start putting it on top of their pile, like, "You need this, you need this, you need this,"
That
and
is,
that is
that I think that is an expert level tip there. You might need to work up to that one.
or throw caution to the wind, YOLO 2026. But that is also, that's also gotten me a lot of, people that were acquaintances, now later friends that, and believe it or not, that's a fun way to introduce yourself to someone by saying, "Oh, no, you need this," and being so convicted in it, like, whether you're joking or not, uh, that shows, like, you're at least willing to step outside yourself. It's very dumb, but like, it has worked, and, uh like, don't take someone's merch and put on, say, does this look good on me?" Don't do that. But if you see them like, putting records down, like, "You need this, you need this, you need this." Ice Soup is all you need this week to eat. You need this record, you need this record. Like, I think that is it. Again, it may be a higher tier attempt, but I think it's fun. I think it's a fun way to introduce yourself. Shared interests. You're putting it all together in one, in you know, an expert level move. But I think that's a very cool, fun way to do that.
Yeah. I If you're at a record store, if you're at a show, I think keeping in mind that you already know you have a shared interest. That that makes, I think, so much of the trying to figure out how to break the ice that much easier.
Yeah,
Um, trying to make it friends as an adult is hard, right? Like when you're a kid, you just run up to somebody and ask if they want to be friends, and then that's your friend forever now. But as an adult, mortifying. It's terrifying.
shouldn't be.
Um, it shouldn't be, but it can be. And as we went, the reason I wanted to go in on this one is like last week we talked a lot about like we don't want anyone to feel like alienated from hardcore. We don't want people to feel like they're not welcome there, you know, unless they actually do suck. But but how do you actually go about finding like a little group, a little like a group of friends or whatever, you know?
Here, here's a this might be an expert level move, but if you if you're new to an area or you just don't know your way around very well, but you go to like when I would go to Atlanta shows, I know how to get to the venue and home. I don't know how the fuck all to get around Atlanta. Okay, I just didn't. We didn't have GPS back then. So what I would do is I would see a bunch of kids, be like, "Yo, that was sick." They're like, "Yeah." And they might ask your name. They might ask, like, "Can I get a cigarette?" Whatever. And he's like, "Yo, what's a good place to go eat around here?"
Mm, that's a good one.
That's a fun way to like get to know people. You're all gross. You're all sweaty. Come on, Silas. Come on over. You someone gets to share like, yo, this is our special vegan matcha shop that we go to, or whatever the case may be. You get to see a different part of someone's life, and then like, hey, next show, fucking we'll hang out. I'll show you a spot that I found, or hey, if you're in my neck of the woods, I know this really cool French pastry shop that also lets you like have knife fights in the back. So if you want to come, like it's a pretty cool scene, or whatever the case may be. But like it's but you understand what I'm
Let me
saying.
show you the local dog fighting pit.
Well, Michael Vick's in Atlanta. So it's- Nintendo did not like my version of Nintendogs as a special edition of that. They got really mad at me when I sent the box art in that I made. That's beside the point. But like it food. People love food. If you've
It's
been at
true.
a shadow, chances are you're gonna be hungry because the your eating window for most people is like, yeah, you gotta get there at 5:30. Show starts at 8. Doors are at
Yeah,
5:53 exactly. Can't no reentry. Is there food there? Nope. Fuck. So uh exploring together can be a very cool way to get in to meet more people, be more social.
absolutely. Um, yeah, it's scary to put yourself out there, so be kind to yourself. Um, not everyone's gonna respond in the way that you maybe hope. It's okay. Um, you know, get knocked down, you get up again. And
They're not.
never gonna keep you down.
If you're pissing the night away, it's fine. All right. I don't think I have any other
They
like
take a seltzer drink. They take a seltzer drink.
takes a vegan drink. He drinks a dairy drink. The gang vocals that remind him of the best times. The breakdowns that remind him of the worst times. X,
I feel like there
Danny
was
Boy
a
X.
um how is some straight edge band has had to have done a straight edge version of tub thumping, right?
I hope so.
I'm gonna will that into existence.
Make No Cure do it because they've done a straight edge song every year on Edge Day for like the last couple of years. That Strife, I think they did a Foundation one. They did a Throwdown song. You can go back. The Strife, I think the Force of Change is really really good. Uh, make them go the other way. Make them have some fun with it. Um, I don't think I have any other like non creepy ways to approach people, like following back to their car. Like, yeah, I like the stickers on the back of your car too. What's your license plate? So like,
Yeah, don't follow people back to their vehicle. Just in general, I think it's a general good rule for you to like keep all your teeth. Um
keep all your blood in your body. Like, yeah, you should be be be.
But anyhow, did you want to go in on our next topic?
Yeah, because I think this like a dumb multi-part one, but like this, I think this is a good start for it. Um, uh, I For those who don't know, I have an obscenely large record collection. My wife knows because she has said you need to sell half your goddamn record collection so we can have space. And I'm like, but babe, will you still love me if I don't have this super limited edition of blah? How will the internet know that I'm cool or that I'm still youthful? And she'll go,
To which
you
she
know,
said, "I don't know what that is."
multiple times. Most, uh, It's like, "Oh, this variant cover is different because it has this little bit of different colored ink. Sick. Will you take the cat to the vet? Will this pay for the vet trip? Yeah, in like 5 years." They're like, this is gonna buy us a house.
Gas is $5 a gallon.
Not if you steal it. Get a good hose. Get a good hose. Try new
I
things.
don't think you can do that with gas tanks anymore.
You can. By the way,
Word.
diesel, kinda tangy. So
Anyhow,
anyways, and this all started from, like, us talking about collectibles and kinda like the barrier to entry, it is very low. But we were talking about knocked loose tickets being, like,
80 fucking dollars.
that's if you get them when they first get announced. Like, if you get if you're on the text list or you get the email alert or whatever it may be. But regardless, not venue size, but how the entry level to shows, not local, but like a lot of the bigger bands has gotten really wild. And you're talking triple digits for some of this stuff. And it's like, yo, I love these bands. Like I have multiple AFI related tattoos. I don't have $150 to spend on AFI. Sorry. Uh, I have the records. I have some merch. I have seen them a dozen times, but and I know that there's no retirement fund in punk rock. There is no 401k in hardcore. Um, so I understand why they need to. My tickets have gone up, but like the resale value of the tickets, that's kind of where the Pokemon, like why I hate Pokemon, the resale side of it. The resale side of hardcore is, and I am guilty of it. So this is me talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm guilty of it. But let's say I buy a record that's all hype and I put it on, and I listen to the whole thing and I go, I don't like this. Or maybe they do something really bad, Balmora, and all of a sudden, like, I no longer want to own this record, Balmora. And I'm like, I'm just going to put this shit up on eBay because people still love everything that happened before the allegations, Balmora. So when I sell those records, I don't feel bad that I'm selling them for more than retail. And there's some
Sure.
stuff that's super limited. Uh, what's a good like I'll use Wax Vessel as an example. I have a decent amount of Wax Vessel releases. Same with Tarnished. They're niche boutique labels that do small runs of stuff. And like the resale value, there are people that got into records specifically Wax Vessel, but specifically hardcore labels that had like bands that had big albums coming up. So the Converge had 2 records come out. Well, those super rare variants were bought and put on online almost immediately. And I will buy 1 or 2 of stuff. I used to try to do full VCs, the vinyl collection of a release. Not only was that stupid financially, but like space wise, then all of a sudden I'm stuck with like I can't listen to 7 copies of Humanity is the Devil at once. I've tried. But it's one of those things of like, yeah, you stack them. It gets heavier, the riffs.
Okay, sure.
Um,
That seems
if you
like
want
bad for the vinyl and
not
the
not
record player
not
and
if
for
you
the
want
listening experience.
no, it's fun. Try new things. But it's the resale side of stuff is outrageous. And again, like I know these things are go for high dollar amounts. And I said I have sold records like, hey, I have like 10 of these uh of this release. I could stand to lose a couple of them and they're worth hundreds of dollars. I don't mind doing it. I think if you do it immediately after, it's a scummier thing. But my tastes have
Well,
changed.
there's something there between like the this is a legitimately rare thing, right? Where uh it's difficult to get a hold of, there's just aren't a lot of them. That I feel is fundamentally different than the manufactured scarcity because every single copy of a whatever thing got bought up by resellers
Yes.
who are now holding the supply and want to charge outrageous prices. Like, that's just scalping at that point. That's what that
Yep.
is.
And that's and like
That's like it's one thing if you're like, "Yo, I got this original Shelter record," right? Like, this is an original pressing of whatever,
mantra.
um, Mantra, right? Like, that's legitimately cool if you have that. That's not the easiest thing to get a hold of. You could get, like you you can, I'm sure, go get Mantra on vinyl. It's not going to be a first pressing of it. That's different than, 3 people bought up every available copy and are now selling it back to actual fans for ridiculous markups.
Yeah. Like that has
Because
been a big
the band's not seeing that money.
no. No. It's and I think and like I I love a boutique label. Like Veda Vu did a lot of cool stuff. A389 has gone back to being a boutique label as opposed to doing a handful of releases, very selective. Tarnished
I didn't
Records,
even realize they were doing anything anymore.
yep, like a lot of represses, but stuff that's been out of print, a couple new things. Those remasters, all the Cold as Life on vinyl finally, which was great. Shout out Dom, especially for that. I
Oh, right. Okay.
love Cold as Life. Uh, like Wax Vessel had brought Wax. I'll say this. I think Wax Vessel single-handedly really brought back and this may not be your genre, but the MySpace era of aggressive music. They took all these bands that only had CD releases, made limited vinyl copies, and took so much fucking time and care, and then paid the bands uh, a shitload of money as opposed to just hoarding it. Um, I think stuff like that is cool. Like, I'll give you. Okay, I got one right here. This is a dead. So I just done a Dead to Fall demo. I had a CDR of this before the LP came out because Victory sent it to a lot of the street team kids is to burn CD. I lost it. I was like, I really liked some of the versions of those songs. I don't have an MP3 player anymore. Like, I have a Zune that will not charge. I don't know why, but they made this happen. This is a really cool demo. There's other
That's
stuff,
really
but that was
cool.
the first that came to mind. And now I have a more permanent thing of a thing that I really like. Is it the rarest of those versions? No, but is it something that is already kind of niche, kind of rare, and very cool and affordable? Yes. That's uh I think the other thing for me, like again, as someone who like does resell records, there was a minute where like I was not doing good financially where I was buying a couple copies of hype records to feed myself. I'm not proud of it, but I'm also not like ashamed of it. It was like either this or sell drugs, and I think this one might be a little better for me. Uh, so I did that for a while. It'd be stuff that I didn't even care about. If it was stuff I cared about, I got one for me, obviously. Um, but I would do that to perpetuate, be able to take care of myself financially when I lived in Rutherford County and there were no real job opportunities and in college. because I was in college. Um, I was still supporting a label. Uh, the band was getting some money. I got the rush of F5ing to get in and get it quickly. In retrospect, as much good as I thought I was doing, I was causing some harm. So, I'll make
Yeah.
amends for that one way or the other, in this life or the next. But there is a stark difference between what I was doing to survive, which again, not the best, well aware, um, and just the straight resale, the straight flipping, the straight. I don't. This is a fucking. This is a stock. This is not a real thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing behind it. And where I'm at now in my life, as I keep, unfortunately, time keeps marching forward, my tastes have changed. Like I still have nostalgia for a couple things. Here's a good one. Because it's within reach. This is one of my favorite metalcore records of all time. I love this Marsha record. I won a copy in the raffle, so I have three now. I'm probably going to trade or sell my third copy. But this was such a big deal record for me at the time that I will go back to this over and over again. Um, and there's other records that I'll do the same with that like are like literally within my grasp. But I look at some of this stuff like I don't I don't think I'm going back to this. I don't think this has. Why can't I get rid of it and make money off of it? I'm not talking like all the money, but I want to get
You know,
something out of it.
I think you have a collection, you want to sell it off. You want to sell it off for what it's worth, but um I also don't see you selling it off on prices that would be prohibitive to the sort of person that would want to own it.
Yeah, and that's
And
very
unless it's actually like legitimately rare and you're like, yeah, you know,
like the Okami box that I got. It's a reprint. I got it because I love that game. I love that soundtrack.
uh-huh.
I was like, I do not have $700 to spend on an original copy. If they were repressed, I'll do it. And it was like 120, 130. Like, okay, that's fine. And it's already going for stupid money. It's a highly sought after item. If I turn around and sell it, I'm part of the goddamn problem. But when I sell off a large portion of my collection again soon, because it's like I just don't listen to this stuff. I don't want to say unburden, but like I'm happy I was able to support some bands, some labels. All I'm gonna do with that money, other than the responsible stuff, is I'm gonna go back into the fucking ecosystem to get the perfect collection. I don't mind that mentality, but the resale scalping mentality of everything, especially
It
hardcore, has been very
it
frustrating.
turns it turns everything into a commodity. Like in the commodification of hardcore, right? It's no longer a thing that people are engaging in because they enjoy it. They're engaging in it because they think it's the next big thing, and they think they're investing in some sort of nest egg, And it's just you see this with like the way that like bands will have like merch drops, and then it sells out immediately, and then the next day it's all on Depop. Like,
Yo, merch.
but
You
there's a
just
kid that loves that band that would like to be able to buy that shirt for 25, $30 and not 90. Like, it's just that shit is gross. Because it's manufactured scarcity, because people who don't actually care about it think are want to profiteer off of it. You know, and that's a fundamentally different thing than selling off a collection, than, whatever. Like those are just they're very to me they're different. Like it's a different mindset, it's a different thing, I don't know if you can't see the distinction between someone who collected a bunch of stuff because they love it and now need to sell it for like what it's probably worth, you know. Um, and someone who bought a bunch of things to drive up the price of it so they can sell it and make a profit off of it. Like, if you
Well,
don't know what the difference between those two things is, then I can't help you. Um,
yeah,
I don't think, yeah, I don't know.
and like when I was actively like flipping, because again, I get to be confessional on here, and it's probably more cathartic for me than anything else.
Mhm.
It was for me to continuously buy records I wanted. I mean, but the extra money in
Yeah.
my pocket to survive is one thing, but I got to like feed back into the ecosystem. It wasn't like I was selling records, made a couple grand, and then like bought cocaine for a party. It was, oh shit, now I got money for Furnace Fest. Like when we got Silas, I sold off, I don't know, like $3,000 worth of comics and records because I didn't want the cat to die. I wanted him to live. And it's a couple records I sold. Some people gave me some shit over. I'm like, I don't want this cat to die. People are paying this for these things. I don't want the cat to die. Fuck you. I don't want the cat. I love this cat. I don't want the cat to die. And at the time, I was not in a good place work wise or financially or mentally, really, for that matter. Um, I was still recovering from a lot of things, and was far from who I actually was. I was very much a shell, very fucked
Mm.
up. And, you know, I sold off some comics and some records, and now I have this wonderful fucking goblin who's staring at me because I'm in your chair. Calm down.
Mhm.
You're in it all the time. Uh, but I made so much off of those sales, we were able to get him to the vet, able to get him taken care of, gave my wife some money for putting up with my bullshit. And I took off to Furnace Fest and I had a fucking blast. And I even came back with some money for other stuff like his next vet visits. So
Mhm.
and like, you know, I I think if you're it is hard talk because I have stuff that I've had since like 1995 that has a comma in some of the price tag of it. I'm not selling that shit for $10. Fuck you, fuck your mother. I want to get something out of it financially because it has a inflated or perceived value. That doesn't mean like if it's got a comma for everyone else. I'm like y'all sell it for like 350. I don't need $1,000 for this Warzone shirt. I'm still going to make money off of it because it doesn't fit me anymore, because I fucking shrunk it. So it's more of a medium than an XL. But Silas, I'll, I'm not gonna. There's a point where it's greed versus like I'm using this to fund something that I care about or to live. There's that
Yeah.
cutoff point, and that's like Depop, limited merch drops. Yo, I'm selling off a bunch of limited merch that I bought. Why? One, I don't wear it. It's just going to be in bags. Two, the stuff that I've put on, like I'm too old to pull this off. I tricked myself into thinking I could pull some of this shit off. I'm just being forthright. And like the last part of it is like I don't need. I mean, I do. I don't need a different band shirt and hoodie for every day. I mean, I do, but like I really don't. Um, and it it gets me to like to the point where like there are shirts that I wish I could get back that I had to sell for whatever reason. Uh, and that's why I don't use the other word, the fan club edition to stuff. There are designs from bands that are no longer around that were not going to get any money initially from those merch sales for whatever reason because business is business. I think when it comes to the fan made stuff for bands that have no real merch or the designs are long gone or they were printed on absolute trash garments, I say you broker a deal where some money goes to the band, some money goes to charity, and you got to put out something fucking cool
Yeah.
and leave it at that.
Yeah.
I I am a proponent of bands that don't have merch, but, like or you only can only get it when you see them live, and they haven't played in 30, 40 years, and you're like, "Oh my god, I think this might be my favorite thing of all time." I want you to be able to get that hoodie. I don't care that's a fan-made edition. The band probably doesn't give a shit. There are some that do, but I'm a proponent of those things. Keep some of the shit the garment stuff, I understand keeping the cost of that significantly lower than
Yeah.
anything else. Records, tapes, CDs, it's a different world to me. Art prints, different world. But like no one's gonna take my Jane Taggerty print and then screen another one for funsies. You're a psycho if you do. But in both sides of my mouth, I'm a proponent for fan made stuff, especially if you can come to an agreement with the artist and a charity, especially. Um, and on the vinyl physical format of music, you're right. You can if I wanted to buy the first press of a Shelter record, I'm shelling out some money. But if I just want a copy of it, I can go on the Rev distro and get it for 20. It comes down to like, do you just want to have it? Which I have records like that for sure, because I think they're great records. I don't need the rare version. But if I have the rare version and like I don't listen to this anymore, don't get shitty with me because I'm selling it off for more than $5. Go to the goddamn used record factory and buy it there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. What we're getting at, I think, is the motivations behind why you do things does in fact matter.
Yeah.
You know, one can argue all day, and not without merit that like the only thing that matters is outcome, and I understand that, but um, at the same time, like in a lot of what we're getting at here, right? The if the motivation is getting stuff in the hands of people who actually want it, who will value it, who care about it because the band means something to them, right? Then that's cool. If the motive is greed and wanting to make a quick buck off of something that you could give a shit about, like then that sucks. It's the wrong energy, like it's why we don't I think it's why hardcore is inherently kind of distrustful of tourists in the scene, right? Like, are you here because you care? Or are you here because, like, you think this is like a hype thing and this is about optics for you? This is about, like, you know,
It's just
are you,
content.
yeah, are you in line to buy a shirt because you want to wear the shirt? Because that, like, I've stood in line to buy merch of a band I had just seen that night because seeing them live changed me in some way. You know, is that why you're doing it, or do you think you're gonna flip it next week? You know,
And to add to that, there's nothing wrong with trading.
yeah,
Let's talk trading. I've traded records with people. I'm very wary about doing it online because people are
mm,
people. But like, there's a handful of people that I've been like, "Yo, you have these records. I have these records. What is it going to take to get that out of your hands, put it into my hands? What do you need from mine to make that happen?" Or and vice versa. And
mm,
I'm currently working a couple of trades right now, which will, in fact, some of the stuff is stuff I want to keep, and some of it's like, yo, this is trade fodder for something else. I'm trading to trade up to trade up to trade up. It's like the kid that starts the paperclip and has $1 million at the end of it. I'm kind of going that route to complete my collection. It's not just going on eBay. It's just, oh, I got this sick. Well, I would rather have this version of it. I got this that I don't want. You got this. Fucking let's put some shit together. And you were talking about earlier, what's a way to make friends at shows? Trade shit with people. There was the last one that I finally was able to work in. Trade shit with people. Go to swaps, go to record swaps, go to merch swaps. Fucking that's a lot of fun, believe it or not. You can have an entire day just going through looking at shirts you never thought you'd see or records you never thought you'd put your hands on.
One of the coolest thing back, during COVID, um, before we were having shows again, I went to a couple, like, um, outdoor hardcore, like, I don't know what to call it, like, it was like a merch flea market. It was, a bunch of people, like, brought shit to sell. It was really cool. In a time when we weren't able to have shows, it was cool to be able to be around other hardcore people, and, like, I met my friend Davin that way, like, yeah, though, and Bruce, and, like, that's how made friends that's how I have met all the people that I know in, like, Philly hardcore is because I went to that. It was super cool.
So, wow, we brought a lot of things full circle at the end.
Yeah, I'm, I'm feeling pretty low energy, so apologies if this wasn't the most, engaging of episodes, but, um, just wanted to talk about some stuff that's been, I think, on both of our minds.
And to people that are a I don't want to say aging out, because like I'm always going to go back to my battery records. I'm always going to go back to my to certain Zayo records. I'm always going to go back to agnostic front records. There's Madball records I could never live without. There's integrity records that like I absolutely are. Humanity's the Devil. Do I have 5 copies of it? Yes, my favorite record of all time when it comes to hardcore. I'm always going to have multiple copies of that. Sorry, sorry, wife. Multiple integrity humanities the devil copies the way it's gonna be. Every time a new one comes out, I'm buying it. Sorry. You signed up for this. Uh, but but my as my tastes change, that the foundations of what got me into the bands that got me into this, the things that stand the test of time where I was gonna be there, my taste will change. I'm not always gonna have the same stuff, but the foundation of things is always gonna be there. The things that are important are always going to be there.
Mhm.
And it's I'm saying this to people that have big collections that are weary of it. It's okay to let it go.
Yo, let it go. Let it go for less than what you could get for it, so it can get in the hands of someone who's really gonna appreciate it. You will
There you
feel
go.
better, and, like, you will feel better because you will have gotten rid of stuff you don't need. I'm saying this as much to myself as I look at a t-shirt collection that of stuff that I could never possibly wear all of, even though we're trying. Um, but, like,
First t-shirt ever on the show from me.
same. Um, but yeah, dude, like, I feel like every episode we've done eventually comes to, like, some thing of just like, "Hey, just don't be a dick. Be cool. Don't be a dick. Make life easier for the guy next to you and don't be a dick."
Not a bad message to send out into the world, really.
I think so, right? Like, just, "Hey, be cool. Make life easier for the person next to you
Don't be a dick.
and don't be a dick."
Do you know how easy it is to not be a dick? It's
It
so
is
listen,
surprisingly easy to not be a jerk.
like
It
you can just
is
be neutral. You can just be neutral.
You can be neutral. I would actually argue easier to not be a dick than to be a dick.
So yeah, that's not a bad note to end on. In all reality, I think, yeah.
I think we got there in the end.
Yeah.
Took a little bit, but feeling good
Hey,
about it.
yeah, this is probably one of the breezier episodes, that we've done, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
I feel good about it. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Peace. Be safe.